So, I'm having a chat with Maximo Park. How are you?
Good. Very well, thanks.
Good. You're here at Truck Festival. How's your day been so far?
Very good. Woke up early, tried to find food, scavenging
Yeah.
the festival site, watched a little bit of music, and now it's time to start revving up for the performance.
Yeah. You ready?
Ready to go.
Ready for later?
Yeah, the crowd seem up for it. I was in the crowd watching is it the Oxford Symphony or
Yeah.
the local?
I heard them do
orchestra?
YMCA as I'm sad
Yeah.
trying to do interviews.
I missed that one. But I saw them the first few numbers. It was great, and the crowd were quite a
Yeah.
bit more animated than I thought they would be for an orchestra. So,
Sounded like fun
Boding
from
well.
where I was. So
yeah.
yeah. No, it's been around a year now since you last released a record back in 2024. For those who've not heard it yet, tell us a bit about it.
It's called Stream of Life. And it's fantastic, I think.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest albums ever recorded. I think
Yeah.
many people have told us that.
Yeah, we haven't cross-checked it that thoroughly, but yeah,
In your
we're
opinion?
pretty sure.
But yeah, we made it in Atlanta, Georgia, with Ben Allen, who we'd worked with on the previous album, Nature Always Wins. But that was recorded in the lockdown period because we were due to fly out to Atlanta when all of that sort of, the pandemic started kicking off, and we felt like there was unfinished business. So we went out to his studio. We love the work that he's done with Deer Hunter and Animal Collective and millions of other bands, almost millions. And anyway, we made that record there, and we ended up having, I guess, post-punk royalty, who are also from the Georgian area. From Athens, Georgia, we had the singer from Pylon, Vanessa Briscoe, here as a guest on the record. And so we kind of leaned into some of those sort of Athens, Georgia sounds, like R.E.M. being one of our favourite bands when we were growing up, that kind of melodic but still somehow a kind of edgy alternative aspect to the music. And in some ways that's kind of how we define ourselves anyway. We're kind of outsiders, even though we have been making records now for 20 years together. But yeah, it's a kind of, the title came from a Brazilian author called Clarice Lispector, a short story that she'd written. And so yeah, it's the usual sort of combination of melodic yet edgy pop music with literary references, and I think we were joking earlier about it being one of the greatest albums ever made. You judge for yourself. But we still feel like we're making great music. That's the whole point. Many bands, when they get to this stage, are just coasting. They're just putting music out because it's their job.
Yeah.
And that to me is understandable but sad. And we're still excited about making music, and I think you can hear that when you listen to the record.
Good. And the sound that you made with the record, was it the sound you wanted, or is it just kind of how it turned out?
Good question. Well, we were under kind of quite strict time constraints with working in America. We were on a tight budget, but funnily enough, recording in America is the same as recording in London for us as a band from Newcastle. Yeah. It's an expensive business. But yeah, we wanted to. In the end, it always sounds like us, whatever our intentions are. And I guess with this one, when we first started talking about it, we wanted to make a really heavy rock record, and then we changed our course, I suppose.
Well, it was Ben Allen, the producer. When we first started talking to him again for this second record we've done with him, he said it's self-inflicted. He's worked on too many records which are kind of lush and sort of polite sounding. He's like, you guys, we could really do with a rock record here. Let's get rocky. And what that means is different depending on who you are. But we did try and go for a sort of more brash, bigger sound. And I think tracking the stuff live, or as live as we could, Ben doubled up as the bassist for the album as well, and he really enjoyed himself kind of joining the band, because he doesn't get to do that very often, because it was just myself, Paul and Dunk, our guitarist, who were there. We didn't have our full lineup, so today we have Gemma and Andrew, our touring musicians, on keyboards and bass, but we simply couldn't afford to have the whole band there, so Ben kind of filled in the blanks, and and we sort of fulfilled each other's rock-ish fantasies in the studio.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I mean, we should make the point that Gemma and Andrew are on one or two of the two songs which we recorded in Newcastle just to kind of get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So we literally pushed our gear next door to the recording studio, and we had a guy called
Burke Reed
come over from.
Well, France, I think it was. He's really confused.
But he is.
He's Canadian, born in Canada, raised in Australia, lives in France, mainly works in London, but he came to Newcastle to work with us.
Transatlantic.
Wow.
But it was we worked with Burke in Newcastle, and we recorded a couple of songs just to so that we had that live band sound, and it kind of gave us a little template for the rest of the record. And also because we'd recorded two songs like that, we maybe had the freedom to do other things, because we're like, okay, we've got the full band in the bag. What else do we need to add to make it like a good record, instead of it, again, if you record stuff live, it can be quite the sound can be quite similar and samey, and that can be seen as streamlined, or it can be a bit boring in the end. So we always try and think, what haven't we got? So there's like a song called Armchair View on it, which is just acoustic really, with extra atmosphere added, and again trying to find the right level so that it fits with the rest of the record. Those are the kind of puzzles that you've got when you're in the studio. How do we make this a complete record? How do we make it show where we are as a band? So I think there's less keyboards on it, and for me, we've never been a guitar band. We've always been a guitar and keyboards band, if you want to tie it to two instruments. And with this one, we didn't try and Gemma is on two of the songs, but we didn't try and go overboard in the keyboard department, because those were the circumstances that we were in. So you can hear that on the record, I think.
Yeah, Gemma doesn't mind bits of songs that don't have keyboards in either, because she just dances instead. So it's
And she's a great singer as well, so she can do all my backing vocals when I'm doing silly falsettos in the studio. She can replicate them live and do it better.
Nice, yeah, absolutely. Have you put thoughts towards the next record yet?
I have. I don't. This is the thing. This is the thing. We are, when we've made the record, we kind of move up. We take a little break, because especially last year was so intense, because we recorded in the early spring. We then did festivals while mixing and mastering and getting the artwork all done, and then we put it out, and then we toured the world, ending in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it was like, right, time for a break. But I mean, I'm always thinking about the next thing. Like even when we're recording it, I'm thinking, what haven't we done here? What can we do next? But that doesn't mean that there are songs written or anything like that.
Kind of at the thinking stage at the moment. Yeah. So not much to tell you, I'm afraid.
That's fine. You've only got a couple more festivals kind of booked in the diary at the moment. What's your plan for the rest of this year? Are you hoping to still be out on the road?
Well, I think hopefully that's when thinking will graduate to doing. We'll make a start on some new material, hopefully, because we literally don't have anything in the diary after August. We do have some plans up our sleeve for early next year, but you'll just have to watch out.
They will be announced in the next couple of weeks, I think.
Okay. Watch this space. And you've toured many places, like you mentioned Mexico, you finished off your last tour at. Is there anywhere you've not been to yet that you want to get to at some point?
Ooh.
Antarctic.
Well, we haven't been to Iceland.
We were due to fly to... Yeah, do you remember when we got stuck in Spain?
That was Finland.
That Finland?
Yeah. So we haven't been to Finland or Iceland.
Sorry, mixing my Helsinki with my Reykjavik, sorry.
So you...
Easily done.
Yeah, Scandinavian booking agents, give us a call.
Yeah, they'll love you up there, I'm sure. Guys, it's been a pleasure having a catch-up with you. So, thanks very much.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks so much.